Hey everyone, Training Payne here. It's my custom after every Ironman to do the bathroom race report, and this is a little bit different, or I thought it would be, because normally I have myself a beer and I stopped drinking mid-August, but then I thought about it and I thought it wouldn't be appropriate to do a race report without a beer. So I picked up one beer. That tastes damn good. Anyway, here we go. This is Ironman Cozumel, and for those of you that have never seen me after an Ironman, this is what I look like. This is what an Ironman does to you. It's like giving birth. You don't look your best afterward. So I want to kind of give a race report. I had some interesting things that happened to me. First off, the swim, they shortened it, which was nice and was with the current. But there was all kinds of sharks and jellyfish, and I think bed bugs and everything else, and fat people in front of me. So even though my time was pretty good, there was a lot of challenges that I went through. So Simon Cross, just to let you know that up front. Swim was beautiful. I mean, people come to Cozumel to do scuba diving, so you get into these beautiful blue waters, and as much as it's a swim, it's also really cool. You're seeing things, underneath, etc. The start was kind of interesting because there was the start line and people started coming in, and by the time it started, people were about 100 meters past already. I was past, but then I was on my way back, and they let the gun off, so that's the way it went. Swim, it's always one of those things that you think the swim's easy, but there's always sort of punching and kicking and everything else. And it was customary. It wasn't too bad, although something weird happened to me this time around. It was really weird. I wore my little Speedos this time, not my tri-suit. I'm not sure why, but I got punched in the groin a couple times and then hit a third time. Actually, the hit was more like a brush, and I didn't mind that one at all. It actually was pretty good. Got out of the water, did the change, got onto the bike, was really paranoid about the bike. My bike hasn't been working very well lately, a lot of squeaking. I was worried about flats. This race I had probably more pressure on myself than any other race because I didn't do New Zealand and I didn't do Ironman Tremp Blanc this year, and I was signed up for them. So this was the last race of the year for me to kind of get under my belt and, in my words, keep my Ironman card. So got on the bike and I felt great. Oh man, the first 20 kilometers, I was averaging 40K an hour. So for my American friends, that's about almost 25 miles an hour for close to 13 miles. And I knew I shouldn't be doing that I was going to blow up, but it was just so much fun. Then we hit some headwinds, and there was so much congestion that there was a ton of drafting. I got caught into the drafting, and I got caught, and they put me in the penalty box, so I had to go for 4 minutes into the penalty box. So my second lap was a lot slower because of that. And then on the second lap, to top it all off, I heard this psst, and I got a flat tire. So got off the bike, was going to change it, then I realized I had this pit stop. I've never used pit stop before. Plugged it in, all this foam's coming out of the area where there was a pinhole. I thought it didn't work. I was starting to get things ready, and turns out it did work, and I was able to get back on the bike. The only thing with that was the pressure wasn't that high on the tire. When I went around my first corner, which I like to kind of cut pretty tight, I almost skidded right off the bike, so I had to be careful there. There was people, I would say every mile or two, flat tire after flat tire after flat tire. The bike started off nice, there was no wind, and then all of a sudden the wind picked up and it was pretty windy, and then it started raining. And then when it started raining, I realized I had my socks on and I don't have an extra pair of socks in my run bag, which really, when you do 10 Ironmans, you realize you don't want to run in wet socks. So I ended up stopping on the bike and taking my socks off. And then on my 2 aero bars, I actually put one sock in the other and I let them air dry for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. So one girl came by me and she pulled up and she says, "Geez, you really like your socks." She had never seen anyone ride with socks on their bike. I said, "No, I just like dry feet." And so, near the end, it was, totally paranoid the last, 20, 30 kilometers because the bike was making noises that it's never made before. And I was just, every mile that went by, I kept thinking, okay, that's one less mile I'd have to walk, one less mile I'd have to walk. Anyway, the bike was really good. If I didn't go in the penalty box, if I didn't have a flat tire, if I didn't stop to take my socks off, I averaged about 31.4K, which is just around 19 miles an hour, which is not bad. I would have done a lot better if I didn't go out hard in the beginning because I think I blew myself up a bit. The bike was a little bit long, but that's fine. So when I got off the bike, I was really paranoid about, my running legs because you never know if you're going to be able to run when you get off the bike. You just don't know. And so I got off and the legs felt great. I headed out and was doing a great pace. I was feeling really terrific and didn't let up. It was a great run. I didn't walk one aid station. I would stop, have something to drink, and then kept running. So my entire run, I didn't stop or walk or anything. And during that, when you see people walking or they're suffering or there's all kinds of problems going on, it's kind of a double-edged sword. You feel bad for them, but you feel good for yourself because you realize that could be you, and you're having a good day because it's not you. And there are certain highlights. I pulled up. I was running beside one guy who was just sobbing, just crying. So I don't know what was going through his mind, but I'm sure there was something obviously pretty emotional. Ironmans tend to bring that out. And I didn't walk, and part of the reason, I felt good enough to run, but I also don't train for walking. If you're going to walk, you got to go out and do 5-10 mile walks. I don't have the legs to do that, and quite frankly, I just wanted to finish. The sooner I could finish, the better, and the sooner to finish is to run, and then it's done. And I mean, it was hard. It was hard. All these Ironmans are hard. I felt good about this one. And what I really am really proud of myself on this one is basically 6.5 weeks ago, I was in really not Ironman shape, not even close. And did the 4-week training camp and then did a 2-week taper. And I showed up and I probably had one of the absolute best races of my entire life. And why I think it was one of the best races is because I gave it everything I had. Every time, from the swim time to the bike time to the run time, were the best times, or basically the times I had in training. I didn't once walk or stop or feel fatigued, which basically tells me that I trained properly for it. So even though it was a really, 4 weeks versus, 12 weeks, it was still effective for me. So I consider that a win. I almost see an info commercial that, I can promote the 4 weeks of training, 2 weeks of taper. Kind of, I was thinking on the bike, it reminds me of like a healthy shake for breakfast and then, a balanced meal at dinner. For weight loss, so maybe I could be on info commercials doing that. It was really nice to finish, come through, get the medal. So this is number 11, and my goal which I didn't tell anybody. I was telling people I wanted to do under 12 and a half, which I do because that's a very respectable time for someone who's done Ironmans like myself. But the real goal was when I was 19 years old, the best time that I did between 19 and 23 when I stopped doing triathlons for about 16 years. The best time that I had was 12 hours and I think 14 minutes. So in my mind, since I've done my comeback and have done now, this will be my 8th Ironman, not one of those Ironman were slower than what I did in my best when I was 19, which shows that, almost 30 years later, I'm in better shape now than I was at 19 years old. Anyway, I'm so glad to get this monkey off my back, and I feel great, and I had one of my best races. And, Cozumel, if I want to put a plug in for Cozumel. This is one of the absolute best Ironmans that I've ever done on so many levels. It's well organized, it's a great race course. The people are fantastic. The kids that do all the work, very organized, very caring. All the people in the town are fantastic. I can't say enough about Cozumel. I would do this race again in a minute. This is probably one of the best kept secrets in the entire Ironman family of races. So if you're thinking about doing an Ironman or thinking of doing Ironman Cozumel, highly recommend it. They close all the roads, the town is all Ironman, the course is great, the people are great. The people are at the side, and what's great is it's very international. Like a lot of people, you don't understand each other's language. There's a lot of times you'll ask someone, they'll have a deer in the headlight look, you'll have a deer in the headlight look. You'll be running. The Mexican kids are great. Like they have noisemakers. They make them themselves with plastic pop bottles, put rocks in, and they're shaking them. They weren't shaking it like this. They were shaking it like that. So anyway, this is a great event. There'll be a way more detailed blow-by-blow race report. This is kind of the abbreviated version. And I'm just glad I'm done. This medal, beautiful medal by the way. If I put in how much this thing cost, it's probably worth more than if this was pure gold. It'd probably have to be like plutonium or something to be as much as I paid to get this. Anyway, over and out from the captain, and great race. I'm glad I'm here, and I feel like I'm in great shape, and it was one of my better races. Oh, forgot to mention one last thing. I wanted to give a shout out to Dave Parker, who finished his first Ironman, I think it was a couple weeks ago in November at Ironman Florida. And I just want to say personally, congrats, Dave. Great job. Loved your video, and keep it up. You're doing an awesome job. Love kibitzing back and forth with you. Okay, I'm officially over and out from Training Payne.